Sawadee Cap viewers, today we've got an incredibly insightful story from our subscriber Francis from Wales. Francis shares a candid account of his attempts to navigate an evening out in Bangkok, revealing how making even the slightest plan can lead to unexpected detours and reflections on the city's unique dynamics. It's a journey through familiar bars, genuine human connections amidst transactional settings, and a surprising, poignant encounter that challenges his perceptions, all while battling the unpredictable gods of Bangkok nightlife. I've learned a hard lesson in Bangkok: never, ever make a plan for your evening, not even a loose one. It's that very word, plan, that the gods of this city seem to hear, slipping out of your imagination. They don't reside in your conscience or your logic. They're deep within your desires, your flights of fancy. They pick up on that moment you cast aside discipline, right from wrong, the ingrained guilt and shame from your upbringing. They know a prison break from your routine is on the horizon. And don't think for a second your fleeting thoughts go unnoticed. They miss nothing. The moment a whisper of passion or desire drifts out, their heads pop up over the wall, wondering what mischief you're brewing. They sniff out the slightest inkling of a plan, and while you're privately musing, they're deciding if you're due for a bit of trouble. The answer almost always is yes, so take it from me. Clear your mind, don't overthink. And just be ready for anything, with zero expectations. Some guys rely on their bottle-bound talismans, tigers, lions, elephants, to steady themselves before the hunt, or simply hang out with friends like Johnny and Jack, talking nonsense until the moment strikes. Today, I made that exact error. I actually mapped out an itinerary, ending right back in the bed where I drafted it. Maybe error is too harsh, but the outcome was the same. It had been nearly 20 days since I'd felt a woman's touch, and those familiar male knots were tightening in my head, needing that broadsword of female contact to cut through the desire, and all the other nagging, unspecified things that clog up the male brain's temporary files, slowing the whole system down. So I started at the beer garden, my usual Sunday afternoon haunt. I settled onto my customary stool by the entrance, and my personal waiter, who's probably seen more of me than most of my friends in the city, delivered my first beer with his usual lightning speed. As I took stock of the scene, I found myself sitting next to the lovely New, a dark-skinned beauty with almond eyes, wearing a pretty cotton frock. Across from me was Juan, charming a Japanese guy. Further down the line sat Sa, Juan's older sister. I knew them all to varying degrees. I started with New, the one I knew least. Early in her time at the bar, I'd hoped to take her home. But when I found out she had children, it wasn't a possibility for me, though many men wouldn't care. She gave me the impression I'd somehow rejected her, and after that she wouldn't really look at or speak to me. If there's one thing a man learns in life, it's that a woman has the right to refuse, not the man, even if the bars seem to offer a different kind of equality. Finding that free stool beside her felt like a sign, so I tried to make amends. A common male predicament with women. I engaged her, asked how she was, and then, presumptuously, tossed out a Bewa Puchai Mai. Are you bored of men? In Thai, along with some other cajoling remarks to lift her spirits. It's a sad truth for us regulars in Bangkok's bar scene. These women quickly get to know us, our half-truths and our unfulfilled promises. Many of those promises might come from genuinely romantic hearts, but they still cause hurt. Miss New, despite her allure, has already realized that life in Bangkok, for all its pay, can be incredibly empty. She's aging into Miss Old faster than she'd like. There's really nothing to debate about it. It's just life. A dynamic that's existed between men and women since time began. It's hard to label it as sinful, wrong, or uncivilized. It simply is. And whoever or whatever designed this existence clearly left fairness out of the equation. My goal in talking to her was simply to encourage her and acknowledge her as a person worthy of respect. I succeeded, earning a good hard slap on the shoulder for my efforts. Then my attention shifted to the lovely Wan, or Nam Wan, Sweetwater. She's perfectly named, with her pretty face, clear eyes, and a dark, pouting mouth that begs to be kissed when it's not beaming. To know her is to know two women. She's a plump little thing, yet somehow delicate, and she interrupted her chat with the Japanese guy to acknowledge me over his shoulder, asking how I was. He left soon after, alone. Her older sister, Saya, reminded me of our chat before the Champions League final and how we correctly predicted Manchester United would win, though we didn't foresee the dramatic way it would happen. It was just the other day Say told me I first met her in the beer garden 7 years ago. 7 years. Jesus, where has my life gone? Still, this is our history. A shared past that the Johnny-come-latelys who arrive and depart in a few weeks can't possibly share. Sa and I, in a way, have been married, though we only shared the honeymoon. I eventually left them all. I left New's pretty eyes and strong brown legs. Wan's soft, pulling beep-eyed way. Come with me. Plea. And Saya's happy smile for our old friendship. I walked away with a quiet satisfaction, feeling like a person with and for these women, something I never came close to experiencing during my 7 years in London. It's not love, and I don't want it to be, but there's a mutual respect, a friendly hello, a smile. And for me, that's enough. But none of these early interactions stirred the gods. Not even my brief stop at Lucky Luke's in Nana, where Mem, a warm-hearted Laos lass, greeted me with a kiss on the cheek and a breathless whisper about the labmu, thawed, fried spicy minced pork, and somtam papaya salad I was carrying. I'd only been with her once years ago, but she's back on the scene now with a child, and she makes me feel special just because I remembered her name and everything we did together, just like Sa. It's a truth. Most Farangs who come here never learn. Respect for the woman, remembering her name, and showing genuine concern can outweigh all the money that's changed hands with other men. These simple things maintain relationships and are truly at the heart of the culture here. Then, the evening truly began and the gods were waiting. And stupidly, I admit I hardened up a plan right at that point. I headed to Rainbow 4 to see a girl who shared the same last name as the bar's number. I'd talked to her last week and sensed her interest. I figured her usual clientele was mainly Japanese, and out of sheer curiosity, she might be intrigued by my towering frame. Few of her other customers could make her feel as short and feminine as I could. She was there, but the gods who travel at will had clearly gotten there first. As I sat near her dance position and watched, her eyes met mine with nothing but detachment. You need to know how to read these girls, though, to be sure. You look for that flicker in their eyes, a nanosecond where they look back, a subtle softening of the face or twitch of the mouth. A woman's way of grabbing you by the shoulders. Luckily, I've been in Bangkok long enough to understand those signals. But tonight, there was nothing. A lot of guys would fall into denial, thinking, maybe she didn't see me, but those eyes never miss us. Not ever. They're constantly scanning, using every reflected surface to extend their range. I did the gentlemanly thing. Paid up and left. Very ninka I. Round 1, to the gods. Next, I tried Rainbow 3, where I'd caught a look back from someone a couple of nights ago. She was there, I think, but seemingly trapped with a waxy, unmoving figure of a young Japanese man. All I got was another beer in my belly with no prospects. So, I moved on to Erotica, a bar where I'm well known, a place where I've paid more bar fines over the years than any other bar in Thailand. The owner of Erotica, like most Thai business owners, focuses solely on cash flow, not the logical operation of the bar. I've often asked my confidant, my Mia Luang, literally main wife, here referring to a trusted bar girl, and other girls, why all the customers sat on one side while the homeliest, oldest, fattest, most tattooed women danced directly in front of us, with all the slender sweethearts hidden behind them. It wasn't a rugby scrum, was it? Was this the work of the gods, hiding the beauty from the customers? Was the owner herself a god? I gave up and headed to Rainbow One. There were so few customers at Rainbow One that girls I'd been with 5 years ago tried to reacquaint themselves. Go wit you, they'd offer. I genuinely like these girls, which is why I went with them in the first place. But tonight wasn't the night. The gods had made sure I'd had enough alcohol during my fruitless search to completely derail my plan, including any fallback positions. I was sliding down the beer hill with nothing to hold me back. What I'd set out to do no longer mattered. All that was left was to go home and eat the food I'd bought earlier. Easier said than done, thanks to that automatic voice in most men's heads when the evening is winding down. Let's just have one more. So I crossed to the Nana Hotel's Golden Bar, taking my reserved box seat at the new silver rail to watch the parking lot's final match of the evening. But first I had to shout in my best Thai at the flower and shoeshine kids who constantly pester the bar's owner, a fat old dog named Cow. The night continued its strange trajectory. 2 drunken Thai girls, slopping beer everywhere, demanded to know from across the silver rail why drunken Farangs were allowed in the bar, but they weren't. I did my best to direct them to the manager, explaining it wasn't my rule, but one of them wouldn't leave me alone. I said it in English, I said it in Thai, but I think it was simply my acknowledgement that made her stick to me. She was the prosecuting attorney and I was the accused. She believed she'd been wronged. And perhaps it wasn't just this immediate injustice, but all the wrongs that alcohol could only cover up for so long. She wanted someone to blame. When you're drunk, it's hard to remember that we all carry such grievances inside. And sometimes all you can do is bear them. This was going to be a proxy fight. I decided to end it quickly. In the first round, I dropped a bomb on her, cobbling together some Thai, figuring mutual drunkenness would open the channel. Go, fang noi. Kun mau leo, te pom mai du tuk kun. Kun ba pen kon Thai. Kon Thai suan yai, ba pen kon jai di. Mi marayat di, go, kun kwan pum jai tua eng. Ba pai non. Listen. You are drunk, but I don't look down on you. You are Thai. Most Thai people are kind and polite, so you should be proud of yourself. Go to sleep. She paused, looking me square in the face. The remark about being proud of herself caught her off guard because I said it gently, without reproach. It hurt her deeply, bringing tears to her eyes. Those stifled tears that are so hard to hold back, coming from a profound sadness, a long-held shame for what had happened to that good little girl who once listened to her mother's advice back home in the paddy fields. I felt for her more than words can say. I wanted to put my arm around her and tell her none of this was her fault, but she staggered back, turned on her heel, and left. I returned to my Farang world, or rather, it returned to me. Nick from the soon-to-open Big Mango piled in with his friends around me, all young guys full of piss and vinegar, their English mixed with American, rattling on about women and their lives in this crazy city. Soon, Michael, the other partner in the bar, appeared with his dreadlocks. 2 Thai girls bounced in with the crowd, and it was all fun and exuberance like a beer commercial. Even if the night wouldn't last forever, their youthful life certainly would. It was the way things ought to be, but it all depends on which side of the silver rail you can sit without asking permission. The gods had been particularly vicious tonight, and I cursed them for taking away the good feeling I'd gotten earlier from the Thai women I knew, and the satisfaction they had given me. They had ensured I went home empty-handed from my plan. So, that was Francis's evening in Bangkok, a fascinating look at how expectations often clash with reality in this vibrant city. He found genuine connection in unexpected places, encountered frustrating obstacles, and even had a deeply moving moment with a stranger. What did you think of his experiences? Have you ever had your best laid plans derailed in a foreign city? Let us know your thoughts and stories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this honest glimpse into Bangkok, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more real-life tales from our amazing community. Thanks for watching.